Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. A fabulous Friday to one and all. Welcome to SGI Dynamic Speakers Chapter Meeting. My name is Lee Buckley and I'll be your Toastmaster of the day for tonight's meeting. Tonight's meeting theme is centered around expediency. According to Oxford Languages, expediency is the quality of being convenient and practical, despite the possibility of being improper or immoral. Have you been in situations where you had to be expedient? Remember, it's situations where you could be, convenient or practical, despite the possibility of being improper or immoral. I will leave you to ponder on that as we hear from our club president, distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low, with his opening address. Over to you, Mr. Club President.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster. A year plus ago, physical Toastmaster Club in the whole world was not online. They went through a series of doubtful, stress, we are knowing what to do. Toastmaster International did one thing. They bring the physical club, the physical Toastmaster meeting, which was supposed to be physical, to be online. And people always say that online does not work for them. A year later, many Toastmasters out there have so-called like the idea of having online meeting because they can travel to the whole world, around the world, to meet people, which they can't do that in the past. They can only do it, they can only connect through people in their country, through WhatsApps, through contacts. 2 years ago, I bring the online idea of standing up. Have been very much registered by many people in Singapore. As I look back, the denial of people not accepting online meeting, online club is a thing of the past. They want to do more, everyone who want to do more speakers, more networking, which they never do it in the past. Why could Toastmaster International do this? It's because of the COVID-19 virus that bring them, which them out of their norm. Because many Toastmasters believe that Toastmaster meeting should be physical, in-person meeting, rather than online. Actually, I do not agree with many of you or many of them who have said that online meeting is not for Toastmasters. Actually, online meeting is good for them. It's good for everyone because it brings you another set of presentation skills on top of the basic skill that you learn when you are in-person meeting. And the third point is, why are we not following the norm? It's because the pandemic have bring us out of the comfort zone to something new. And we need to learn something new. It's not about going back to a physical meeting, physical venue to do presentation. You can still do presentation online, sitting, standing, as long you have the right equipment, right hardware for a Zoom meeting. Many of you who have headset, powerful microphone will agree with me. But some of us out there I still do not accept. I know that many of you still want to go back to physical venue because you have the vaccine taker, but vaccine is not 100% perfect yet. Every day we still hear cases of people being affected even after they have a vaccine taken. Because vaccine that was created in December is not 100% proof for now. This topic especially relate to 3 items. They relate to us in a different way. Having a Toastmaster meeting online where you can meet in person. Second thing is having a vaccine that does not give you a 100% proof. It's just to help you to lessen the effect of the virus. It doesn't mean that you will not caught the virus. So fellow Toastmaster, take this especially as a lesson that we have to learn in life. Because I remember in 2003, where SARS was affected even more people. At that time, there's no vaccine. We only hear people dying. But today, we can see that there's more survival, although we have seen some countries have very high infection rate and death. But I believe that one day the vaccine will go through the situation of expectancy so that everyone can take out of the normal norm. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Lee, we can't hear you.
Thank you, Club President. Thank you, Gracie. Thank you, Club President, for your inspiring speech. Who would have thought, if I were to ask you in 2019, would you ever thought that you'd be sitting in front of your computer, staring into that 1 or 2 dots that's supposed to be the camera, and looking at people within the 2 inches of your screen? Thanks to the silver lining behind the dark clouds of COVID-19, we're able to take Zoom Airlines around the world. Would you have thought that you were able to take Zoom Airlines? We save thousands of dollars, right? Zooming around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, expediency. Have you been in a situation where you had to compromise on your principle? I see some heads shaking. Let's hear from distinguished Toastmaster Mike Monroy. Would you like to share a situation with us, Mike? I think your microphone is not connected properly, Mike.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Can you hear me? I had this on. Yes, I have. There's a situation here by culture. And if you're familiar with Spanish culture, it's a very warm, loving, caring culture. The meal of the day is lunch. It's very heavy. And it consists of alcohol, wine if you like wine. You're not required to drink it, but it's there. If you are with business friends, business people, it could also turn out to be a 2 or 3 or 4 hour lunch. Please, I'm not joking. This is very serious. And during that lunch, there could be a bar with drinks like gin tonic at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Are you required, if someone gives you a gin tonic at 4 o'clock after a large meal with business people? You can take it in your hand, and hold it. You're not required to drink it, but be careful where you walk with that environment because you might get caught up in that wave of excitement. So beware if you come to Spain for business purposes and have a Spanish lunch, which is delicious. And beware of your business associates who want to make sure that you are happy in their environment. They want to make sure that you're having a good time. I am not a heavy drinker, nor will I change my behavior. But I do take the drink in my hand. I may taste it, but I'm not going to drink it. Be very careful when you come to Spain, please. Madam Toastmaster, I return it back to you. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you, Mike. Good advice indeed. I will be aware and I'll make sure that I have one drink and I'll hold on to the drink the entire time. Yeah, maybe a sip of two, but yeah, I'll make sure I'll hold on to it. Thank you, Mike, for your sound advice. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from some of our role players who will be supporting our meeting tonight. First up is the R counter. Our R counter tonight is Gracie Waltono. Looking at her, you would not believe she's only 15. She'll be turning 16 on the 13th of June. She's currently studying in 10th grade and plans to major in law in a few years' time. She's passionate about Hamilton the musical as well as mint ice cream. Yum. Gracie, would you like to share with us your role as the art counter tonight? Over to you,
Sure
Gracie.
thing. Thank you for that introduction, Toastmaster Lee. Hello, everyone. Like she says, my name is Gracie, and today I will be your filler word or counter. My job will be to count how many filler words you use during your speeches, and whenever it is you get a turn to speak. Filler words are the words like is a repetition that we use to fill up those spaces when we speak because it kind of helps give us more time to think. It's not a very good habit, but I myself practice it unconsciously. So hopefully I'll be helping you by keeping track of how many you use today. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Gracie. Look out, everyone should be listening actively for your filler words and your other crutch words as well. Our timer tonight is Toastmaster Patricia Tay. Patricia believes in the joy of learning and that it should never stop. Toastmaster Patricia, would you like to share with us your role as the timer tonight? Over to
Thank you,
you.
Toastmaster of the Day. Good day, everyone. I'm Patricia. I'm your timer for today. I will show the green at 1 minute mark for table topic. 1.5 minutes, I'll show yellow. And at the 2 minute mark, they will be red. So looking forward to start timing for all of you. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Patricia. Friends, we have an exciting program for you tonight. We'll kick off with a workshop on how to craft informative speeches by our club president, distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low. This will be followed by table topics where speakers get to practice their impromptu speaking skills. Finally, it'll be the prepared speech segment and the evaluations. I have put in the chat the speakers and evaluators for tonight for your reference. Are you ready for an exciting night of learning ahead? Come on, everyone. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Woohoo! Distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low is an organization catalyst of change, a person who can make change happen and inspiring and influencing others at the same time. After leaving Toastmasters for 12 years, he returned in 2018 to make a change in the Toastmasters community in Singapore. He went on to set up the first 100% online club in November 2019. Please put your hands together to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low with his workshop on how to craft speak to inform speeches. How to craft speak to inform speeches, distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Before I start my presentation, I will ask two questions to two persons. Toastmaster Kanai,
Yes,
to give, as you are a project manager, right? Are you a project manager?
me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the program manager. Yes,
Okay,
for
program
the IT.
manager. So do you have to craft a speech to inform speakers to your audience, to your user or the customer? I mean,
I
a
think my
presentation
audio
before
is
the
very
facts.
weak. Can you repeat, please? Sorry.
Okay, what kind of presentation do you have to present to your customer?
I think I have to call you back. I don't have audio
Okay,
clearly.
never mind. Let me ask
Okay.
Peter Chong.
Yes.
As an IT professional, you have to submit a proposal to your internal user to get budget, right?
Yes, definitely.
What kind of presentation you have to provide to them? Do you know?
Mostly to get the projects ongoing itself, we will draft the necessary we will grab the necessary info, such like budgetary, solution proposal, and the ROI to the project itself, and also definitely a comparison of the financials. So these are the few details that I will present to my management to get the projects on green light.
Okay, thank you. So do you know what's the purpose of this speech to inform speech? Peter, sorry again.
As now, not really get it.
Okay. Okay, it's Kana back because the reason why I asked Peter, Chong, and Kana is because it relates to the speech, to the presentation that I have. Because many of us have to do a lot of presentation of facts and figures. So is this a speech to inform or it's just a description? Okay, you give me a second. Let me share the other screen and we can start your presentation. Maybe I think Kana audio have problem, so we can just skip. Okay. Okay. The purpose of this, my agenda today will be slightly more in detail because you will get to understand what's our purpose, which I already asked really a question. Information speech that we have, and the most important is the speech structure of information speech because in Toastmaster we many of us I believe more 30 minutes workshop the last few meeting understand and what is considered a speech. I want to ask you and then the references that I pick up this information I have. Okay, you give me a minute. Okay. Every speech, okay, some of the information is for a previous presentation.
All right.
And I just repeat, I go through very fast. Okay. Sorry, every speech we must have a general and purpose special. It's either entertain, inform, inspire, motivate, persuade. But today, our speech is to be informed. And what is the specified purpose that we want to let the audience to know, to do? And for the purpose, and today we want to, the purpose of the speech is to inform. Okay. What's this purpose of this information speech is to provide interesting, useful, unique information to your audience. Many times I listen to such a speech, I do not understand. I cannot follow. But after finish this workshop, you and I come up with a speeches that you can follow. I mean, you can take the necessary call to action. If not, you will be, I guess some of you will do one thing, just forget and move on. So let us move on to the first. Okay, what kind of presentation do we have? Actually, in information speech, there's 4 types: definition speech, demonstration speech, explanation speech, descriptive speech. What are all these? The most common speeches that is in the market right now is demonstration speech. Demonstration speech is where we present something, we want to ask people to do step by step. That is called demonstration speech. Okay, let us go to the first part. What is a definition speech? Explain the meaning, theory, or physiology of the topic. For example, the type of topic are sports. Like cycling, why do we why do we want to travel through all the park connected in Singapore, and why are we not going to the road? Or how do we go about using cycling for that? And what's our main goal? We want to educate the audience. We just want to tell them the main point. Let me come up with another philosophy of a topic. Change management. Many of you may not understand what is change management, but some of you who are in Toastmaster have go to preparing for a change project. You have a objective change. You tell them what actually you want to derive for this change. This is what I mean change management is for. And then we try to use photo to define a topic, a theory. If not, people will not want to understand. Okay, the next part will be demonstration speech, like what I have explained earlier. You explain how to do something. Like a teacher always explain how to create a particular topic, and then she will demonstrate. And then we teach you how to go by step. For example, how to go to Zoom. So they will go by step, and they will show photos, how to join Zoom, how to use the chat function, all these are step by step. So many of the training that you have attended, we are all using demonstration speech. We do not tell you the theory, because many of you, this is called demonstration speech. or you use a chart, a flow chart. Many of you are familiar with flow chart, which we learn step by step. And then photos, yes, it does help, especially for people who are not IT savvy. So we use a lot of photos for step by step. Okay. Okay, explanation speech. Okay, this topic is this kind of speech very common every day. It's like, actually, this kind of speech uses the 5W because most of the time they use a lot of 5Ws because we need to tell them who did it, what was happened, and why does we have to do about it, and then sorry about. And then all this topic is focused on a particular industry. Like if we talk about Toastmaster, we explain Toastmaster or so-called pathway. This is where you do a lot of presentation with chart with people. If your presentation does not have visual representation, people will be bored because there's a lot of words. And then you don't have a comparison, you just have a line. So this kind of speech, you need to have visual aids used for everyone in a particular part of the industry. Okay, the last part is descriptive speech. What normally this kind of speeches are given to relate a person. For example, somebody passed away. And yes, it's a eulogy, not a description speech. But we always, in a eulogy, we describe a person, how this person was in the past and how this person was when he passed, and how this person life have impact others. This is a simple guide of a descriptive speech. And then we always use a lot of photos, places of interest that the person visited. We do not use much chat because you're talking about the person or the place on the object. You are not doing a comparison. So, okay. Do you have any question? You can unmute yourself, raise your hand and unmute yourself. Because the next part will be a bit detailed and you need to understand more. Toastmaster Lee Butley, do you have any questions so far?
No, I don't, CP.
Okay,
Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah. How about Toastmaster Angela?
If it's a technical or abstract subject, what do you do for photos?
Okay, your question means it's a demonstration speech or a description speech. If I understand you correctly. If not, can you just repeat your question again?
If you're giving an abstract talk, say it's how to conquer fear, how do you illustrate it when the subject is totally abstract?
Okay, it's considered under definition speech because you're doing an extract of the topic. You are not going to demonstrate anything, you are only telling a theory because your abstract is the theory of a topic. Can I answer your question so far, Angela?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
How about Toastmaster Patricia? Do you have any question about the kind of?
Willie, thanks for asking, but I just got in and I would like to just continue listening for a while before I
Sure.
ask question. Thank you.
Okay, the next part will be how to prepare a different speech outline. Because many of you, actually not many of us, including myself, we have problem writing a speech outline. We don't know when to start. In this next part, it will be much more, I will go through step by step, and then you all will have to answer a question after this part. Okay. A definition speech, the first part, the opening, you need to answer, you need to talk about the topic you want to speak to. It's not about the main point, because I have listened to many speeches that the speaker always use the main, not right. So the you want to talk to speak about, it's about, for example, change management or grooming. Then the body, we highlight the main point about what is grooming. There's certain parts. If it's a 7-minute speech, we always use a 3 point. We want to let the audience stay back. And if it's a professional presentation, normally it's limited to 45 to 1 hour or longer, depending on what is the audience want to take back. And summarize the main point that can help the audience to take back, because this is the outline that we should write, because a lot of us speech, we just write a speech without having this three: opening, body, and conclusion. Because we tend to speak about the main point and the opening, and then we forget what we want to speak and the body. So the topic I want to say is COVID-19. How did COVID-19 affect us? I mean, apart from the, actually, the first part is your title. How does COVID, what is COVID-19? And then the body, I highlight the main point, like how they see, using the 5W and 1Y, we highlight the main point, what we want the audience to take back. What is this virus? How does it affect us? And why did it impact us? And then some conclusion, I just summarize the main point.
Understand that.
I summarize the main point that I want to let the audience take back. Okay. Demonstration speech. Explain why this information is important. Like how could use Zoom. This is my opening. I was saying that many people have been going for online meeting and have problem understanding the features of the Zoom. And then I separate the body into a few steps and explain the step by step. This is more a structured speech. And then in conclusion, I will ask the audience, after listening to me, do you understand what am I? Do you know how to use Zoom more efficiently as compared previous when you did not use previously? Okay. The next part will be explanation speech. The first part is we need to orient the audience. We must have a reason why so that people will understand the reports. And we have some background information. And then in the body, we explain why we use this research method, this and that, and then show a presentation of my finding. And in conclusion, we are here to solve a problem or prevent something to reoccur, or advantage and disadvantage of our study. Okay, the next part will be description speech. What topic you want to describe? And then we use the STAR approach, situation, task, action, result, to have the body. And then we summarize. Many of the time, I heard speaker uses description speech, but they did a mess up with all the different body approach. I mean the body outline that was given. Sometimes they use SAT approach for an explanation speech, which is incorrect. Or they use okay, let's ask Google. Sometimes they use the research source method for a definition speech, which is incorrect. This is the right approach that we need to follow. Okay. Okay. This is very interesting. I will ask question to all of you, and all of you will need to answer. Lee, I need your help to take note of the question, the answer that they have. Oh, will that be okay for you?
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay. The first question, yeah, thank you. The first question is, I will ask, everyone will have, here are 6 questions, and then I would like all of you to answer it, and Lee will tell me whether after, Toastmaster Angela, the first question is how the COVID-19 pandemic have changed our life in the past year. Is it a definition speech or a description speech or explanation or demonstration speech?
But it's not definition, it's not demonstration, and it's not explanatory, so it must be descriptive.
Okay. Okay. Next question, I would like to ask Toastmaster Patricia. Today, I will teach you how to dismantle your mobile phone. Is it what kind of speech I need to present?
Demonstrative.
Okay, thank you. Toastmaster Asmina, the truth behind disaster Titanic. What kind of speech is it?
Well, I missed some of the parts, so maybe a descriptive.
Okay, Lee, can you take note for me? Okay, let me ask somebody else. Toastmaster Mike, about various of the virus that causes COVID-19. What kind of speech was it? We can use, we need to use.
So are you saying number 3 or number 4, Willie?
Number 4.
I can barely hear you.
Number 4.
Okay. I would say that would be informative. Informative speech.
What kind of information speech? The 4 type, which one will you use?
Okay. About explanatory.
Okay, thank you. Okay, who else? Toastmaster Corey. Number 5. I made a mistake and I regretted deeply. What kind of speech we can use? Is it
explanatory?
Explanation. Okay. Anyone else? Toastmaster Raja. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, why are we going to mask?
Where are we going to Mars?
What kind of speech? What kind of information speech can we use?
Explanatory.
Okay, thank you. Let us go to the answer and come back to you. Did you get it correctly? Toastmaster Lee, did anyone of them get it incorrect or near to it?
It's 50-50 at the moment.
Okay.
Question 1, Toastmaster Angela, descriptive.
Okay.
Toastmaster Patricia, question 2, demonstrative. Question 3, Toastmaster Asmina, descriptive. Question 4, Toastmaster Mike, explanatory. Question 5, Toastmaster Corey, explanatory. And question 6, Toastmaster Rajan, explanatory.
Okay. Let me tell you a technique how to choose the right speeches. How the COVID-19 pandemic have changed our life in the past year. The keyword is how. That's why it should be explanation. It cannot be description. It's correct because it's teach you how. Teach you how is the keyword. Toastmaster, sorry, Lee, Toastmaster Asmina mentioned
Descriptive.
Description. Okay. This part is a bit tricky because, but there's a keyword, the truth behind disaster. That is definition. That is the keyword, the truth behind. About various of the virus that cause COVID-19 is explanation because we need to explain. Toastmaster Corey mentioned something. Lee, can you repeat again? I can't.
I mentioned explanatory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Explanatory.
Why do you answer explanation?
Because normally, if let's say my husband say I made a mistake and he regret it, he will explain himself.
Okay. Actually, the keyword why is description is I made a mistake, I regretted. I made a mistake. That is when the description, unless anyone of you do not agree with me. Because you need to describe why you made a mistake and then why you regret. This is a describe. You cannot explain. Explain is I am wrong. I am sad. Why did I want to read? That is. So this part is a bit subjective. It can be explanation, it can be description, but the right answer is description because you're trying to describe why did you make a mistake and then you regret. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. There's a really silver lining.
Just now? Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. There is a really thin lining between explanatory and descriptive, especially when this is regarding emotions. Normally, people at this context, they just want to explain about the situation. Yeah, but yeah, it's really a thin lining, I guess.
Okay, why not we go to the slide for description and see why. The reason is because I use the STAR approach. Situation, task, action, result. That's why I can describe a situation, I can describe the task, the action, and the result I want to conquer. I mean the action I want to take, and then what is the result of the outcome. If you measure is an explanation, let us go to explanation. Explanation is mostly for research, with facts. So there's no right or wrong on this. We have yes, Mike, you got. So anyone got any question regarding the question, or you do not agree with me with the answer? Okay, now it's a question and answer question you can ask me. That's I can only accept 3 persons in regard to the presentation. Anyone can would like to ask me any question before I end the meeting, the workshop? Toastmaster Patricia, any question for me after you have? Because you have your Toastmaster for 20.
Wow, don't say that. All right. So usually when we
So you might agree or does not agree with me.
no, well, usually when we ask question, then I would like to know when we say on a subject, we will want to give credibility. So I would like to know where this information comes from, or is it your personal research?
I have my personal research and my own view as well.
Your what?
My
Personal
own
research?
view.
Your
My
own
own
view.
view and my personal research as well.
Okay, so when you do research, where does the sources, where do you get
the sources in the last page now?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have not
come
go
to that yet.
page. Yeah, I'm not come to that. I just now is the question and answer.
Can I look at that again? Can I look at the past? So because when we know your sources, it's easier for us to understand. Thank you.
Yeah. So any other question about the topic?
Very interesting. We always speak, we always talk about certain topics. We always talk we always doing speeches, but we were as what you say that evaluators, we don't tend to go into details like this. Yes.
Yeah, because
Very
most of the speeches that I heard throughout my Toastmaster
Good.
journey, I realized that we got the project speech it's a fact-finding report. It should go under that, mix up with the kind of the speeches that they should use. How about Toastmaster Asmina, who is not a very new Toastmaster, but do you have any question for me?
I just want to say it was a really wonderful speech and everything was explained, and the concept of both the explanatory and descriptive and the definition, these concepts were really cleared now. And thank you for giving such a wonderful speech. Thank you.
So will you be able to do a good speech after listening to this speech, to info speech?
Yes, definitely, definitely.
How about Toastmaster Patricia?
Uh-huh.
Patricia Day.
Oh, Patricia. This time you have to.
Oh, yes. Hi.
Do you have any?
No, I think it's great to know that there are different ways we can present a speech, and it's a good guidance that when we prepare for the script, it's good to know that there are different types of speeches. I'm very new to this, so this is definitely helpful for me.
Okay, thank you. And all this refer to the last part of the references to this website and my own personal opinion of actually most of the 6 questions are all for various sources. Just type of question there. So there's no particular, but because every day we read news, we tend to have different type of information. And how do we different it? This is when you can learn how to define the kind of speeches or the news that come to your mailbox or your and I would like to end my speech by saying one thing. We all learn by listening to the right concept, and we can be a better speaker moving on, because we are all guided by a bias. And with all this workshop, I believe members of this club as well as guests for other clubs can benefit for our speeches. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low, for your very informative workshop. I'm sure we've all learned a bit more about informative speeches. And just to make sure, I would like to offer a virtual Kit Kat to anyone who can answer my questions below. Are you ready? Don't they look delicious, the virtual Kit Kats? Let me start by asking you, how many types of informative speeches did distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low mention? You can
4.
unmute yourself. 4. Excellent. Oh, was that Peter Chung?
Rajan.
Rajan. Oh,
And
sorry,
I need Kit
Rajan.
Kat, Lee.
I will give you not a virtual, but a physical Kit Kat when I meet you next Wednesday. So
Okay.
thank you, Rajan, for. And now for the second Kit Kat. Okay, for the second Kit Kat, Rajan, just to make sure you're listening. Which of the informative speech did he say to use the STAR method? Remember, if you can't answer, I take the Kit Kat back for me. Okay, for myself. Don't you agree, everyone? Yeah. He's got a Kit Kat now. If he can't
As per
answer,
descriptive speech.
oh, well done. Woo-hoo. So that's 2 Kit Kats I owe you next Wednesday. Well
Cool.
done, Rajan. And now everyone else, if you like a virtual Kit Kat, can you tell me which speech requires the 5 wives? And what are the 5 wives? Sorry, 5 W's, that is. We always say 5 wives and 1 husband. Yeah. Yes, Patricia Lam.
Patricia Lam, all right.
Yeah.
Explanatory.
Yeah, excellent. And for a
Why?
bonus, yeah.
Why, where, what, when. I can't remember the 5th, and then how. I always can never remember the 5th W.
Who?
Who? Yes.
Well done. I'll give you this extra big Kit Kat when I see you.
I need a big one.
Thank you, Toastmaster Patricia Lam. And now the last question. Out of the 6 questions, who got... Oh, I see Toastmaster Mike has the actual Kit Kat with him.
Wow. Wow. Really?
That's right.
I've got Cadbury.
Let's all have a party after this. And now for the biggest Kit Kat of this size. Of the 6 questions, if you could tell me how many were correct and who were the speakers who got them right.
50% were correct. Now who were the, of course, one me.
Yes.
And I don't know 2.
That's it. I'm taking your Kit Kats back.
Second one will be Corey.
Corey was
wrong.
half.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Corey's was incorrect.
It was debatable.
Yes.
Then Peter got it correct.
Yeah. So there was starts with P and starts with M.
Patricia Lam.
Yay!
Oh,
and
okay.
Asmina.
M. The one who showed the Kit Kat hint.
Mike.
Mike. Woohoo. Well done, everyone. I think all of us, for all our efforts tonight, deserve this virtual Kit Kat. Well done, everyone. And thank you for your participation. And now let's move on to the table topics session before we go on a break. The table topics master tonight is Toastmaster Corey Milani. Toastmaster Corey is a passionate product designer who loves to design usable and delightful products. Let it be an app or a website that people would refer to and that will help them in their daily lives as well. In her free time, she loves to find the best coffee in town, as well as traveling, exploring new places and food, and taking photographs. Her favorite quote is, "Never stop learning, because life never stops teaching." Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Corey Milani to lead the table topics session. Over to you, Toastmaster Corey Milani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lee. All right, now we come to table topic session. Table topic will help us to develop our ability to organize the thoughts quickly and also express ourselves better. Guests are welcome to participate if they wish. Tonight, our theme is expediency. To me, expediency is when I have to push my own plans to my husband for weekends, because normally my husband will not make any weekend plans. So I will push my plan to my convenience. Then recently I just found a quote: if the wife don't make plans, there will be no fun weekend. I just reinvent this today. To me, I like enjoy coffee, chilled cafe ambience, sunlights, where my husband is really quite the opposites. But since I'm the one who make the plans, most likely the activities on the weekend will go to my favor. So that's a bit sharing on my side. So for today, we would like to hear from some of you to share a story based on the numbers that you choose. There will be a topic that regarding the expediency that you can explain further. Okay, so for today, there will be a 10 prepared topic. Are you ready? Okay, so now I'm going to pick a table topic speakers. If let's say no one told me yet, so I will pick the first table topic speakers. Let's hear from Noah. Noah, are you there? Yes, you can pick a number.
Actually, it's new.
Yes, would you like to participate?
Yes.
Yeah, you can pick a number, 1 to 10.
Okay, so I will go for 7.
Let's see what we have for 7. Okay, 7 is swear for truth. Too big. Okay, swear for truth. Toastmaster Noah, the stage is yours.
Can you repeat the topic?
Swear for truth.
I didn't get it, I'm sorry.
Okay, so if you can see here on my background,
just give me 1 second, I'll pin you. I'm actually attending it from my phone.
Oops. Sorry. Swear for truth.
Okay. 1 second. Yeah, I can see your screen now. Yes.
You can see?
Yes, I can see it now.
All right. The stage is yours, Noah.
Okay. First of all, very good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all of you. I do not know the time standard in your different countries, but here my topic is. So my topic is that's swear for truth. Before I start giving and telling you about the truth, the one thing that we have to know in our life is the importance of truth. You know, from throughout my upbringing, if I tell my personal experience, I have been told by my parents, by my teachers, by my professors, lecturers, that be honest, speak well, always true. Be true, whatever you do in your work, in your whether you're playing anything, whatever you're doing, whether you're doing any assignments, projects, or whether you're dealing with any clients or any of your friends or any of your colleagues, be honest, be true, because if you are truth every time, that actually reflects your personality and it connects your heart to another heart of the person. Because you know, there are times when people usually make false statements or people usually say false things. So the other person who's experienced, not a kid or not some, at least a person who's a teenager, can understand, you know, can feel the disconnect. But if you're always true, if you're always honest, if you're always speaking truth statements with the persons you're dealing with, there is a connectivity that you know, that generates between human to human, and that is something that's always been there. So I think that's the principle that I always live my life on. Whenever you are dealing with any person, whether you're dealing with any clients, any students, colleagues, your family or anyone, the one thing that always works in your favor is your truth, the way you speak, and always be honest. So thank you very much, and over to Kim.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noah. Be sure to always be honest. Before that, I apologize, I haven't explained the time length for the table topic session. So for table topic, the timer, our wonderful Toastmaster Patricia Tay will show green at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5 minutes, and red at 2 minutes. And you have another 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. All right, then I will pick up the second speakers. How about Krishna Sandi? Are you there?
Yes.
Do you want to join a table topic session?
Yes, sure, Corey.
Yeah, you can pick up a number.
I would go for 1.
1, very interesting. All right. 1. You can see my screen. Skip procedure to be fast. Skip procedure to be fast.
Okay.
You get it?
I think I do. Yes.
Okay.
So
The
thank
stage is
you.
yours.
Skip procedure to be fast. This would definitely resonate what I feel right now, because I really want to skip the procedure and tell whatever ideas that comes to my mind in a fast manner right now. To be frank, whenever we do something in a company, in an organization, what they expect is to follow a certain procedure, a certain process, so that it gets done in the most effective manner. But at the same time, there are certain things which doesn't have to follow a certain procedure or a process. What they do is the end result. Everyone focuses on the end results. How we do it, what process we follow doesn't matter as long as the result is effective and good. So what I believe is in, as long as you know what you're doing, as long as you understand what you want to do, as you know what your end goal is, it doesn't matter what your procedure is. So even if you skip past the procedure, or even if you follow the procedure to the T, it doesn't matter as long as you do it in your own style, in the most effective manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krishna. The key is be wise when you want to skip SOP and be sure you know what you're doing so you don't harm other people as well. All right, so we can have the third speaker. Can I have Vidya? Vidya Ranjit, are you there? If Vidya not ready, how about Peter Chong? Okay, I will. Okay, today is the skip. All right, how about Khalid Amin? Are you there?
I can try one. Kanan here.
Oh, hi, Kanan.
Hi, I can try one. I have not spoken for a long time. Table topics.
Okay, you can pick a number.
4.
Number 4. Let me see what we have. You can pin my screen to be able to see bigger. Number 4.
1 minute, let me.
Number
pin.
4 is selective. Yeah. Number 4 is selective relationship. Selective relationship.
Selective relationship. Oh,
yes. Okay. You get it?
Yep, I will try selective relationship. When you, okay. Madam Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Selective relationship. When you talked about relationship, immediately my family came to my mind, but this is about Toastmaster, so I am going to talk from the Toastmaster perspective. When the Toastmaster perspective, as a leader, when it comes to relationship, my mind immediately jumps to mentor-protege's relationship. As a mentor, I want to make sure every one of my protege is successful. I want to make sure, I want to help them. I want to do whatever I can so that they can excel in public speaking, they can excel in leadership, they can find the path, find the way, what they wanted to achieve. If a mentee want to achieve something about public speaking, I want to help that protege how to be successful in public speaking with my limited knowledge. If a person, if a Toastmaster who wants to be excel in leadership, I will step up and make sure that person is excel in the leadership. I have some experience even in helping the students to win. I'm not sure this is available in Singapore. We have international science fairs where the middle school and the high school students participate and they win big cash award for their scholarship. I used to help them once again in math, science, physics, chemistry, and technology, computer science. I used to help them. I used to make them winning. It is just that relationship as a student, or as a leader to the student, as a mentor to your mentee or protege, you call it nowadays. That is how it come to my mind. I'm trying the table topic for a long time. Back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanan. All right, can we have the next, Asmina?
Yes.
Yeah, you may choose a number.
I'm picking number 8.
Number 8 is a lucky number in Chinese. All right, what we have for number 8, you can pin my screen to see a bigger one. Number 8, smile when it's held. Smile when it's held.
Sorry, small when it is held.
Okay, let me type in the chat.
Yes, please.
I DM you. You got
Thank you.
it?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My topic is smile when it is held. So I can tell you this thing with the help of 3 statements. Number 1 is that in this pandemic time, it is like a hell for most of the people because of the job loss, because of the revenue loss, because of the employment loss, because of the loss, we cannot meet anyone, we cannot go out, and everyone is at home. Due to so many problems here, also, there are a lot of problems in the world, such as climate change, such as a problem of the climate problem, the other racial problem, and a lot of problems already exist in this world. And it is sometimes like a hell to some individual persons. And in order to come out of those things, we have to be very strong. We have to be resilient. We have to be optimism, as we know that optimist person sees every problem as an opportunity rather than every problem as a problem. And when we see opportunity, our lens of seeing that problem shift from negative to positive. And by doing that, we think of some steps, some incremental steps, some goals with the help of networking, with the relationship, with mentoring, and we can decide and decide on some steps. And by keep on smiling and focusing on the path with the help of others, with the help of family, and doing all these positive feedbacks and positive steps, we can do something in the life, and we can improve whatever stage we are right now. And with mindful practices, by doing meditation, by taking help from others, and by doing some these kind of courses, we can also incorporate these things: optimism, mindfulness, resiliency, and humility, and with we can develop leadership qualities within ourselves, and we can develop more leaders in the future also, which will be our moral lesson for us in the now. And we are preparing our kids and our family and our community for the future as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asmina. Focus on the positive in the midst of negativity. I like it. Next, can we have Vidya? Vidya Rijit, are you there? Yeah.
I'm here.
Hi. Do you want
Hi.
to pick a number?
Yeah, definitely. I would go for 8.
Oh, 8 is just now picked by Asmina.
5.
We have, yeah, okay, 5. Let me see what we have for 5. 5, white lie. You can see my screen. You can pin it to see it bigger.
Yeah, I can.
White lie.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for the wonderful question. White lie. We have seen people saying both lie, white lie and lie. What is it actually? Suppose when we are going to a hospital, when a person is going to get treated, if that person has cancer, the doctor can't tell him directly that you're going to die within few days. So he has to tell a white lie. He has to give him motivation so that he can live 1 month, 1 year, 2 years. Suppose it can happen in any places. It can happen in any places, anywhere, even in our home also. It doesn't mean that it's against our ethics. We need to go. We have to value our ethics. We should be following our values in our society. We have to speak truth, but it doesn't mean that we should hurt others' feelings. We have to be assertive. We should tell others what we need to tell them, but it doesn't mean that that hurts them. If a person is mentally and physically weak, and if we go and tell them that you're not doing good, you're not right for this job, it will impact him tremendously. So one thing what we can do is that give him the support, give him the care as a citizen, as a person, so that when we support each other, as you see in this COVID scenario, what we can say is that if we stand together, if we give love, if we give support to each other person, we can get united, and thereby we can face the fear. We can help each other. Over to you.
Thank you, Vidya. Next, can we have perhaps Patricia Lang? Long time no see you.
Long time no see. Nice. All right. I'm supposed to choose a number.
Yes, you can choose a number. We have 2, 3, 6, 9, and 10.
Take 2. I take 2.
2?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a very interesting topic.
Oh.
Let me change my background first. Gossiping.
Gossiping.
Number 2 is gossiping.
Okay, very interesting.
Okay, over to you.
Who doesn't gossip? I always try to tell people I don't gossip, but am I telling the truth? I mean, gossip help us bond, don't you think so? If I don't gossip about somebody, and then every time somebody asks me, hey, Patricia, I heard somebody is doing something, and then I will just say, I've got no opinion. I don't know. I am not suggesting anything. Then you become somebody who is very enclosed in your whole own world, because in a way, people want to know something from you, then it sort of makes you interesting to know that you know what is happening around you. So sometimes gossip, most of the time is bad, but sometimes gossip is good because it helps you to bond with your own circle of people. As long as these gossips are not going to be harmful, and well, then again you say, what gossip are not harmful? Well, gossip like so-and-so has gone on a long vacation and she is so happy and she is now living a life that we all envy. Those are nice gossip. I mean, we are not gossiping about somebody negative about it, not about somebody that things that we should not be saying that might harm her image. So I think small little gossip, like what they say, white lies. I do not know whether you have white gossip, but gossip are something that we share and we become closer to each other, we bond, and eventually we become friends. And we know that this person, when we talk about somebody else, we are not talking about the person's negative things, but we are talking about somebody's happiness, that somebody's positive side of her. So I think gossip, although this word gossip sounds really quite bad, but to me, if I don't gossip, I think after a while people will say that Patricia is such a boring person, and I'm not even wanting to talk to her, because she always thinks that she is high and mighty, and she thinks that she's always not going to gossip about people, and therefore she is always nice to everybody. But I think gossip is something that it is really necessary. I don't know what's the term. Oh, okay, it's still white. That means to say that the person Patricia shared my name, I always now remember her, because and I talk about her that day, I say, oh, who is this Patricia? And I think that she's pretty nice, and one day I will want to get to know her, things like that. Well, we are gossiping as well. So how come it is still white? I do not know. Patricia, are you doing your job well?
Oh, it's time's up. Can you see my screen? It's time's up already.
Oh, thumbs up. I see a white. All right, so never mind. I will have coffee with you one day.
Okay, so sorry.
Don't worry. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Wow, gossip help us bond. That's a really strong statement invented by Patricia Lam. Focus on the gossip, on the aspiration. What do you want, or where do you want to be? Yeah. So don't gossip about the negative side of the people. Okay. So can we have Mike in line for next? Hi, Mike.
To pick a number.
Hi, you
And
can pick a number. We left 3, 6, 9, and 10.
Well, my birthday month is 9. My birthday day is 6, but I'll pick 3.
3. Wow.
3.
This is quite strategical topic. Number 3. You can pin my screen to see bigger. Number 3 is hidden motive. Hidden motive. You see it?
I see it.
All right.
That's a good question.
Over to you.
Madam Table Producer, fellow Toastmasters, I pinned the timer so I'll stay on time. In the Latin culture, men are very close to their mother. And because of this situation, we take great pains to learn from our mother. And my mother, who was a very incredible woman, very smart, clever, she never finished high school, but she was married 3 times. And she had a lot of hidden things that she would tell her sons, me and my brother, information about life, but I can't tell you everything because this is table topics. And she gave me some advice as a young man. These were hidden things, motives. And she said, Mike, you will go out to the world and meet people. I said, yes, Mom. And you're going to meet a lot of different type of people. I says, yes, Mother. And one day you're going to meet a woman. I said, yeah. And you may fall in love with that woman. Okay. But let me give you a piece of advice. So I'm listening. So my mother had these hidden motives. Very smart woman. She says, Michael, I love you. Do not marry the first woman you fall in love with. Marry the last woman you fall in love with. Okay. There were some hidden motives that my mother had in these advice. There's more advice she gave me, but I can't share that right now. That's for another time. But it's a mother. Madam Table Topic Master, I return it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. All right, we have a very special one. We keep the best for the last. Can we have Gracie?
Thank you so much. Sure. I'll have number 6 since that is my birth month.
Okay, let me check. Number 6. Number 6. Power of money. Oh, sorry. Power or money.
Power or money. Wow, thank you so much for that excellent question, Corey. Power or money? I believe that in the long run, money is much more important than power. Now, let me explain. There's a popular saying that says that money can't buy happiness, but I disagree. I believe that money can buy you happiness because personally, I'd rather be crying in a Lamborghini than happy on the streets. See, the saying isn't complete. Money can buy you happiness, but it can't make that happiness last. And in the long run, isn't happiness what's most important? You can have all the power in the world, but at the end of the day, what are you going to do with said power? Are you really sure you'll do good with said power? You see so many politicians today who have so much power, but they're effectively just making the world a much more terrible place for everyone else. I believe, no, actually, I disagree with billionaires like Elon Musk or Warren Buffett who have so much money that they practically don't have any use for it at all. But at the end of the day, money isn't just about being a billionaire or a trillionaire or a multi-trillionaire. I think that having money, just enough money to help you keep afloat, that's the equivalent to happiness. Because unfortunately, the reality of this world is you can't be happy without materialistic possessions. You can't have friends if you can't afford to meet up in cafes. You can't meet up in said cafes if you don't have a car to take you there or enough money to get you a bus ticket or a taxi fare. So in conclusion, I believe that yes, money is much more powerful than power itself, because with great power comes with great responsibility, and not many people have the intelligence to maneuver said power, but everyone has the basic human need to be happy. So just to recapitulate, money can buy you happiness, but it may not make that happiness last. Thank you very much for that thought-provoking question. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Wow, Gracie, thank you for your honest opinion on money. Actually, money can bring you happiness, but it just doesn't last. And sometimes money also can buy power in the political scene. Thank you so much for all the participants today. And now may I have the timekeeper's report?
Hi, we have,
yeah.
Yes, thank you. We have Nor at 2.02, Krishna 1.03, Kanan 2.12, Asmina 2.27, Vidya 1.53, Patricia Lam 3.16, Mike at 2.07, and Gracie 2.13.
All right.
Everyone has qualified except for Patricia Lam at 3.1.
Nice color, no?
Thank you, Patricia Day. Now, can we have a voting? You may choose your favorite table topic speakers tonight. The winner will be announced at the end of the meeting. Okay, I guess we now have 70, 80. Are they still coming? All right, I think we got it already. We can close and end the poll. Okay, I will give the stage back to you, table Toastmaster of the day, Lee Buckley.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Everyone, please join me in thanking the Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Corey Milani, for very interesting Table Topics session. I'm glad I'm the Toastmaster of the day and I didn't have to answer any of them. Thank you, everyone, for your participation. We will now have a quick break. We will resume at 1:45, so there will be 7 minutes break. We initially have 4 speakers lined up, but one of them have sent in his apology for tonight, so we will only have 3 speakers. I will post the speakers and the evaluators and the projects in the chat as well. Have a good break, everyone. We'll see you back at 1:45. Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of the meeting, the prepared speech segment. You will hear from 3 speakers tonight sharing their pathways projects with us on what they have been completing. Our first speaker tonight is Distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara. Toastmaster Kanan will be speaking from the Effective Coaching Level 3 Increasing Knowledge Connect with Storytelling project. May I please invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Asmina Gulani, to read out the project purpose statement.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters and topic Toastmaster Lee Buckley. So Mr. Kanan is speaking on the topic service leadership. It is from Persuasive Path, Level 3 Effective Coaching. The purpose of his speech is, the purpose of the project is for the members to practice using a story with a speech or giving a speech that is in the form of story. Back to Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asmina. The timing of Toastmaster Kanan's speech is 5 to 7 minutes. May I please remind the speaker to pin the timer? The green light will be displayed at 5 minutes, the yellow light at 6 minutes, and the red light at 7 minutes.
Okay, I am not sure how to pin the cell phone. 1 minute, let me check.
So if you swipe it, you should be able to see the timer as well.
Anyway, no problem. I will try to speak. I don't want to take a risk now because I don't want to lose the video. No problem. I'll try to speak 5 to 7 minutes. No problem.
Sure.
No problem.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanan.
Yeah,
Toastmaster Kanan. Okay, very good. Toastmaster Kanan Sankara loves to travel. He lives in Baltimore, Maryland, USA with his wife Janaki Kanan. They have a son who's studying at Johns Hopkins. He started his Toastmaster journey in 2012, eager to improve his speaking skills. Tonight, he will be speaking on service leadership, where he will be sharing a story with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to Distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara with Service Leadership. Service Leadership, Distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, Madam Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. When we signed up as a member for Toastmaster, they told us the Toastmaster core values are integrity, respect, service, and excellence. I always put it a little bit different so that I can remember. I would call it as a RISE: respect, integrity, service, and excellence. This way I can remember the word RISE and I don't have to remember the core values because it is very difficult for me to remember. This is a season where we all want to enroll for a different club officer role. We want to say, I want to be the leader. I want to be the VP education. I want to be the VP membership. I want to be the VP PR. Why? Because I will be thrilled if I am called as a club officer instead of just a member. We take pride on that. We want to make sure we are the officer. That's something, it comes as an internal thing that comes as our ego is a bit raised when you say a club officer. I want to share a story. In India, everything is by stories. So we understand the moral of the story. Remember those days when you are in the elementary school, when you are in the elementary or middle school, when the teacher wants to go out, she will point one person as the leader or the monitor. We call it as a monitor because he or she monitors everyone. What we do, we will be the leader, we will fight for the opportunity, and we will write the first person, whoever we do not like, on the board. Madam or teacher, this fellow is talking always. We write their name. So our enemies or our people who are fighting with us are afraid of that moment. Same way, I'm going to talk about the story. This is a forest where, you know, in the forest of all the animals, lion is a king. Lion will be everything. Lion can do anything because he is the king. One day what happened? One of the fox was walking and searching for food. Somebody has left a paint box, and by mistake, the fox went into the paint, and all over the body, it has got different paints. So all the fox body turned to yellow, green, red, and all colorful. When it comes out of the paint box, every animal got scared. Oh, this is a new animal with a different colors. Oh, they may attack us. They may attack us. You know what has happened? This fox was walking. The fox thought, nobody could recognize me. I can be the leader. And it went and called, I am going to be the king. I got blessed by the God. You know, he blessed me with all the colors. So from today, I will be the king. Every day you have to bring all the meals. Everybody got scared. All the animal got scared, and everyone was giving the food every time, every meal. Lion was unhappy. You know, lion was a king. Lion can do anything it wants, but it was also afraid. Oh, this is a new animal. How can I go? You know, the fox was doing all these things. One day, when it see a moon, it is a type of a howl they will do. It's not a wolf, it is a fox, but when they see a moon also, it will say one type of sound. Other foxes recognize, oh, this is a fox. He is acting as a king. So he went and told, one of the fox went told and the lion, this is not a king. This is a fox acting as a king. So lion found out that this was howling. So it went and attacked and killed that intruder or killed that the king to be, and killed that. What is the moral of the story? If we take the power by the crook, we will not be able to sustain the power. We need to make sure we can do the leadership by doing good things. That's what a moral. Nowadays, there is no moral class. When I was in elementary school, there is a moral lesson every week, 1 hour. Nowadays, no moral story. What is a service leadership? Service leadership is something coming to in your mind. You want to say from your heart, I want to provide service to the community, service to the Toastmaster Club, services to my friends. If that inner feeling that comes from your heart, so that you can do anything, that is called the service leadership. We have a classic example of our club president, Willie Lowe. You go and ask him, Billy, I want to do this. He encourages you from his heart. I want to make sure you want to be successful. Willie feels that everyone must be successful. That is coming from heart, and you make the path for those people. What are the characteristics of this service leadership? The service leader helps others to achieve whatever they want to achieve. They clear the path so that the service, that the person, the member, can work on his way. They guide, the service leader guide you to make sure that you travel in that path. Service leader also helps you provide the enthusiasm, understand, show the empathy on you, make sure that you are successful. We have a classic example in our own club, as I mentioned. So, fellow Toastmasters, why I'm telling this story? There is a choice. You can be like a fox. You can take pride on your leadership, and you can be selfish. You can call yourself as a VP membership or VP PR or anything, or even the area director or a division director, and take pride. Or take a role, help others, help make sure that you also become a service leader. Nowadays, the new concept of service leader has come, servant leader. The servant leader thinks that he's a servant, and he takes his peers to be successful first. His idea is, I am a servant to my peers. I want them to be successful. That is a servant leadership, which is a subset of service leadership. Nowadays, new philosophies are coming. So I am going to be focusing on the service leadership. Let us take any role, because this is a club officer season. You do whatever you want, but make sure you are focused. You don't be like a fox, but be like our Willie. Try to help others. Try to provide enthusiasm. Try to provide successful, and let us make this club as a successful club. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster. I could not see the time, so I hope it is 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara, for sharing with us your story, as well as inspiring us to provide service from our heart. We should serve with rise, respect, integrity, service, and excellence. Thank you, Toastmaster Kanan Sankara. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Angela Lansbury, who will be speaking from the Effective Coaching Level 5, Demonstrating Expertise. Reflect on Your Path project. May I please invite her evaluator to read out the project purpose statement. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara.
Thank you. In this path, in this project, Angela will be taking all the good things, all the good points that she has achieved during the effective coaching path. She will share some of her experience in these 10 minutes, and that is going to be a lesson for us. I am going to welcome, or I am going to yield the lectern back to the Toastmaster to welcome Angela Lansbury to give her the speech. The speech is 10 to 12 minutes. Madam Timer, please note. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara. May I please remind the speaker to pin the timer. Timer, please display the green light at 10 minutes. 11 minutes is the yellow light, and 12 minutes the red light. Toastmaster Angela Lansbury has written best-selling books on etiquette, wedding speeches, and toasts. She's also an avid blogger. Tonight, she'll be reflecting on her path. She'll be reflecting on her journey in completing her 5th path. Please give a thunderous round of applause to Toastmaster Angela Lansbury with the plan on how to excel with Excel. The plan on how to excel with Excel, Toastmaster Angela Lansbury.
Angela, you're on mute.
You should be able to share your screen, Angela.
Can you now see the slide that says lists, PowerPoint, and Excel?
Yes, we can.
Hooray! You may know the saying, all roads lead to Rome. In Toastmasters, all roads lead from Rome. We all start our projects with the same icebreaker speech in pathways. However, about 5 projects further on, we start diverging. And here I have the lists of pathways you have to choose from. There's dynamic leadership, effective coaching, innovative planning, so many, about 11 of them. And if you're not careful, by the time you've done what I've done, which is you're onto your fourth path, you're starting to get confused about which speech you did where. At this point, you need to have some way of keeping track. Now, I used to use this magic book, which is the District 80 directory, District 80 being Singapore. And this is for 2019 to 2020. There should be another book, but no one's given it to me. And if anybody knows anyone in my area or any area of Singapore who's got one, please tell me, because this wonderful book lists all the projects at the front. And I used to tick off the project. I used to write the title of the speech and the club where I gave it and who evaluated me. Now, in the good old days, you used to be able to save your evaluation in the new pathways system. It took me a year to learn how to do that. And now that they've done it, they suddenly decided that they're not going to allow that anymore because they were overwhelmed by people saving things. So I've been trying to print off each project and keep a record of it. And finally, I've gone back to an old-fashioned system, which is simply to take my diary and write in on the day when I did the project, which project it was, the title and the club and my evaluator. And the important thing is that if you're evaluating a speech, you should send your evaluation to the person you evaluated so that they can keep a record. Now, what I do when know what I'm going to be doing, the project, is I print off my evaluation form, and when I hear the evaluator, I write down what they're saying on my form, and if they don't send it to me, I've got some record of A, what they said, and B, what my project was, because you can fill in the top part by hand, member name, evaluator, date, and then you can write in the club underneath. Then if you're well organized, you have an old-fashioned folder and you keep these piling up. Okay, so far so good. Now let me see what else. Now, what really smart people do and well-organized people do is they have an Excel system. Now, for anybody who doesn't know Excel, hands up if you know Excel. Hands up, is there anyone who doesn't know Excel? Excel is basically a set of columns. So you could write down the projects and then underneath put the dates you did them all. So you'd have project 1 and there are 14 projects, except that that's misleading because early on there are more than one project. For example, evaluation feedback, which is project 2, you do speech 1, get your feedback, revise the same speech or write another one using the feedback for speech 2, and then you give an evaluation. So it's 3 things you have to do to get that acknowledged by your VP as a project, and you have the 3 of them acknowledged as having completed level 1. So far, so good. One day I will get the whole thing put into Excel, which is the best way to do it. Another way to do it is what I have done, as you can see here, which is to do PowerPoint. And each time you do a project, you put that project and what you learned in your PowerPoint slide. Now let's look at my second one and see where we've got to. choosing your path. Looking back on it, I can now see I started with presentation mastery. How many of you started with presentation mastery? Can you put your hand up? I'm told that's the most popular path because that's what a lot of people join Toastmasters for, is to give a presentation at work or just to give a speech of any kind. Another popular one for people who are quite experienced is humor. And some people do presentation mastery first and then humor. And then many of the other paths, if you look at this slide, on the right-hand side, the leading in organizations, relationships, coaching, team collaboration, innovative planning, leadership and leadership development. If you're working for a company, you want to do one of those. So what next do we know? We'll go back a stage and we'll talk about the icebreaker. I've come to do my icebreaker about 5 times. So I've now got a pretty clear idea what I want to say. And I have to decide, am I going to promote myself or am I going to give something useful to the listener? Am I going to promote myself as an author and possibly get them reading my books? Am I going to be generous and offer them a book to read for free? Am I going to talk about myself as a blogger, get them to read my blogs, which of course are free? What am I going to promote? And that decides what visual I put in my slides. Now, so share your message and plan your props as well, because I planned my prop. Here is my prop, and I also planned my slides. So I've got that bit in my mind. What happens next? Evaluation and feedback. What I do is I print the evaluation form first and I send it to the person evaluating me. And looking back, I can't believe that a year ago, I couldn't print the evaluation form. I didn't know where to find it. Now what I do is I print 2 copies of everything I do, because I know I'm going to be doing another pathway when I get to the end of this one. And why have to look them all up again if I'm going to be doing similar projects later on? Now I will spin through to something I think you will find useful. Learning your style and your leadership style. One thing I learned was that there are about 4 styles of leadership and 4 styles of communication. But people get confused. You need to have a slide to show them. So that is one thing I do. But you also need an anecdote. And I have my favorite anecdote, which is about communication and leadership, which is from Anand, who was a trainer of one of the divisions. And he said to me, you consult everybody, let them all think they've had their say and they've been heard. And after you've heard them all, you have the veto if you're the president. You make the decision because somebody's got to make a decision. And you'll often find that half of them want one thing and half of them want the other. So you have the veto, you have to decide. And you go back to them and you tell them, I listened to what you said, I heard what you said A and you said B. On balance, I've decided we're going to do B. So that solved the problem because I was constantly in a dither. So now you know about communication and leadership styles. Now, storytelling. Storytelling is important, and I find this the most enjoyable part of your path. And I've got to the stage now, when I was rehearsing my contest speech, you know from what I've said to you here in Singapore Online, I've told the same story about the egg with the props, and I changed that. And what I did was I went through the different pathways and I picked out the storytelling part in each one. But you do have to spend $20 each time you join a new pathway to get it recognized. But you might think that's well worth the money. Now, I've only got time to show you a few more of my slides and a few more of the things I have learnt. One is active listening, which appears in lots of the different projects. When I got to active listening, I discovered that when you're a table topics master, that is one of the projects you can use for active listening. And I'd done table topics many times, but never recorded it for active listening. Now I have learned that when you do table topics, look ahead in your pathway and make sure that you tick off active listening if you want to do that one. I hope you've learned something from what I have to say. If you want to know anything more about the pathway and what you learned from completing it, come back to me. Time's up.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angela, for sharing with us your journey on completing your fifth path. It was very interesting indeed. I was listening to your speech where you mentioned that most people started with presentation mastery. Perhaps I should have started with presentation mastery as well. But I started with another path, dynamic leadership. Yeah. But thank you, Toastmaster Angela, for sharing with us your experience and your lessons learned. Our next speaker is, Toastmaster Angela, would you like to unshare your screen, please? Thank you, Toastmaster Angela. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Patricia Tay, who will be presenting from Dynamic Leadership Level 2, Learning Your Style. The project is Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. May I please invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Rajan Shrestha, to read out the project purpose statement. Over to you, Toastmaster Rajan.
Thank you, Lee. So today, Patricia will be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes in order to complete her project from level 2, which is from dynamic leadership. So the purpose of her project is to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. All the best, Patricia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajan. May I please remind the speaker to pin the timer? The timing is 5 to 7 minutes. The timer is Toastmaster Corey Milani. Please display the green light on 5 minutes, yellow light 6 minutes, and red light 7 minutes. Thank you, Toastmaster Corey. Toastmaster Patricia Tay has been in the early childhood profession for over 20 years. She's the mother to three lovely girls and believes that the joy of learning should never stop. Tonight, she'll be sharing with us her experience being a mentee in Toastmasters. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Patricia Tay with Count Your Potatoes. Count your potatoes, Toastmaster Patricia Tay.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests, count your blessings. Haven't we all heard of the phrase, count your blessings? We have to be thankful for all that we have and be grateful for the people around us. I count my blessings every day, and I am so grateful to have a mentor who is so patient and so wise. She has taught me many things, but she doesn't tell me to count my blessings. She tells me to count my potatoes. Count my potatoes? Yes, she said. During your speech, you need to pause at the right times. Count your potatoes. 1 potato, 2 potatoes. Do you all remember my previous speech? I said that teacher did not read the Nurturing Early Learners framework. My mentor said I needed to make a pause there. I needed to count my potatoes. So I went, that teacher, 1 potato, 2 potatoes, did not read the Nurturing Early Learners framework. I had to agree that pause made my speech more impactful. Mentor is in Sydney and I live in Singapore. Our time difference is 2 hours. We need to match our schedules closely every time we want to meet. Through Zoom, I remember our first meeting. I was so nervous. I prepared my icebreaker script and I read it out to my mentor. But she said I had to internalize it. Internalize. So I put my script away and I spoke gibberish. Mentor said I had to place my laptop at a height so half of my body could be seen fully on the screen. I had no idea why anyone would want to see so much of me. And she said if I stare at the camera long enough, I could actually see the people through it. Who even does that? Mentor went on to acknowledge my strengths and she pointed out areas for improvements. She gave me just enough tips to work on and lots of space for me to figure out things on my own. My confidence grew after each meeting and I felt compelled to keep striving for more. My mentor has admirable traits. She is very hardworking and she always gives her best. Unknowingly, I have also picked up some things from her. Now I take learning very seriously and I always give my best, especially when I practice with her. Oh, it is time to practice. Let me first throw away my scripts. My props are here, here, and here. Laptop on a box, the box is on a stool, my stool is on a table. Hand gestures can be seen. Lighting. I've turned on all the lights in my house. Eye contact. 1 potato, 2 potatoes. I'm ready. Oh, wait. I forgot my speech. I forgot to internalize it. But the show must go on because once the stage is set, there is no turning back. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, my mentor deserves the best version of me. I take her feedback seriously, and my constant goal is to always exceed her expectations. A mentor and a mentee each has a role to play. The mentee must play the proactive role. While the mentor guides, the mentee learns, and the mentee has to learn well. If you do not have a mentor, I urge you to start looking for one. Then maybe we can count our potatoes together. My journey with my mentor is such a precious one. It is one that I call bittersweet. There is a lot of hard work, but also a lot of laughter. Every mentorship journey is different. And just as the saying goes, it takes 2 hands to clap. It takes both the mentor and the mentee to treasure the relationship in order to see it as an awesome one. I am a great speaker, still in the making, but I know each day I am better than the day before. as long as I remember to count my potatoes. So my friends, 1 potato, 2 potatoes. Treasure your mentorship journey and let's get better each day. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Patricia Tay. I wonder who your mentor is. Let me speak to her about counting potatoes. Thank you for sharing your Toastmaster mentoring experience with us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for voting. But before we do that, may I please ask the timer to give us the timer's report. Over to you, Toastmaster Patricia Tay.
For Patricia, the timer is 5 minutes 50 seconds.
Thank you, Toastmaster Corey.
The time for Kanan's speech was 7 minutes and 56 seconds. For Angela, the speech was 12 minutes and 39 seconds.
Thank you, Patricia. Club President Willie. Are you there, Club President?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Seeing that Toastmaster Kanan was using his phone and with Toastmaster Angela as well being slightly over, is it okay if we allow the voting for tonight?
Yeah. Since now it's not the contest period, we can do that.
Okay. Thank you, Club President.
Alice, our club advisor, Patricia Lam, what's your advice? Okay for that?
Sorry, what were you saying?
I mean that we can still allow voting if the member just over by 10-15 minutes.
Personally, I go by the rule because that would not be a good practice if we allow that to happen. Even if it's 1 second, I think, to me, if you ask me personally, I don't think it's a good practice. I don't know who went over time. I wasn't listening, sorry.
Then in that case, we'll go back to, then we'll vote for Angela or Patricia.
Sorry?
No, Angela's overtime as well. So it's Kana and Angela overtime. So the default is Patricia Tay.
Yeah.
But she okay. So we leave it as
Can we include all these?
That's all right. We'll have the voting another day. It's good practice, like what our club advisor, DTM Patricia Lam said. Even if you are over by 1 second, if this was a contest, you would have been disqualified. It's good practice for us as well with time management and how we structure and deliver our speeches. So congratulations, Toastmaster Patricia Tay, for winning tonight. Well done, everyone.
Thank you. Well done to all speakers.
Yes, well done to all 3 speakers. We will now take a few minutes break before we commence with the third part of tonight's meeting, which is the evaluation part. May I please ask everyone to have a quick break, and we'll be back at past. So there will be 6 minutes break. We'll see you back at past. Welcome back, everyone, to the third segment of tonight's meeting, the evaluation segment. In a typical Toastmasters meeting, if you think of PIE, P-I-E, we have prepared speeches, we have impromptu segment, and we have the evaluation segment. Evaluation is where we practice our active listening. Evaluators have to listen to the content and delivery and give commendations and recommendations. May I please remind the evaluators to pin the timer? The timing for the evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. The green light will be displayed at 2 minutes, yellow at 2.5, and the red light will be displayed at 3 minutes. Our first evaluator tonight is Toastmaster Asmina Gulani. Toastmaster Asmina works in marketing and sales in a family business called Textile Mart Incorporated, where she bridges authentic deals in linen and garments in the US and Canada. Please welcome Toastmaster Asmina Gulani to evaluate Distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Asmina.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the day and fellow Toastmasters and guests. So I will give evaluation in a form of three. First, I will tell you what is good, then what is better, and then what is the best. So first, you start the speech very beautifully with giving us the core values of the Toastmasters, which is the rise, how to respect, how to integrate, how to give service, and what is the integrity we incorporate in Toastmasters. And this, you have emphasized that this is the way to be a leader, and we must take pride on all these core values. And from this starting point, you have shifted to the story, which is the main aim of your delivery of the speech today. And you have given us the story of how the fox have taken shortcuts. And by taking shortcuts, the fox has lost his life. And then the lion, who is already a leader, and then he has taken his place. And fox has his technique was discouraged, and one should never take such kind of techniques in his life. And then from there, you have taken us to the services, which must be done with your heart, whether it's in Toastmasters or anywhere else. It must be done with your enthusiasm, with your interest, with integrity, and with total focus. You must give your time and energy into the service. Any service you want in Toastmasters to become a leader or anywhere else in your life. And then you have given us concept of servant leader, which is first, you must think about your peers. How can I help my peers to overcome challenges, rather than thinking of myself first and putting others in front of you, which by giving this point, you have taken us to compassion, empathy, putting yourself into the shoes of others, to be humble. And you ended your speech with a servant leadership message. And we must do this thing. Where you can improve is that you can give us some real life examples of service leadership, or maybe some your real life stories, so we can connect and understand little more. And also you can let us know how we can improve, or we can some more examples, some more examples, so we can understand more and how you have done those service leadership in your life. And the best was that your eye contact and gestures were really good. Your voice was clear, understandable. As usual, you have taken pauses, and it seems that you are aware of the audience and their needs, and you understand the story and the topic very well, and you are successful in making us aware and understand the concept of service leadership. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asmina, for your evaluation. The second evaluator is Distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara. Distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara has completed all 11 paths in Pathways. However, he is still continuing his learning journey to achieve his goal of speaking without making any grammatical mistakes. Please welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara to evaluate Toastmaster Angela Lansbury's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Kanan Sankara.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmaster, and especially Angela. Another good speech from you. You shared what everyone needs to do for documenting the speeches. I could feel and understand your passion for everyone to be successful. Your body language was very appropriate, and your voice was more or less flat, but it's okay. I would say that great job, well done, Angela. Now, I'm also going to give some suggestions. I thought that I was looking for your experience pertaining to this path. Especially, I was looking for some of your experience from reaching consensus, improvement through positive coaching, and your HPL project. and you are focusing on the main one, how to do the evaluation and feedback and other things. That is not for this particular project, but it is okay. You wanted to give one by one, and this could be a 18 minutes project because you went only up to the level 3. You should have completed all the things, because there are 16 projects in this if you are counting HPL in the two as a 2 projects. So I was looking for that. That's okay. Let us hear it. Other thing is, other than that, you have done an excellent job. One thing that I also do periodically, these mistakes, be ready with your presentation. After the Toastmaster of the day calling you, I saw you couple of weeks, okay, when you are sharing the presentation, you take some time into sharing. So when you come early, try to share the presentation and see what can be done, how quickly you can share the presentation, and watch the timer. That is also the same mistake I do. I'm sharing with you because your speeches are very good, so that we could focus on those, and try to restrict your speech within that time. With that, I'm going to yield the lectern back to the Toastmaster of the day. Angela, I would like to hear more speeches from you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Kannan Sankara, for your evaluation. The third evaluator is Toastmaster Rajan Shrestha. Recently graduated from a Bachelor of Business, majoring in Human Resource Management. He's currently pursuing a career, hopefully in his chosen field of study. He's looking forward to pursuing further learning journey with everyone in Toastmasters. Please welcome Toastmaster Rajan Shrestha to evaluate Toastmaster Patricia Tay's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Rajan.
Thank you, Lee. What an amazing speech. Count your potatoes. So Shiv gave her speech from the Pathways project of dynamic leadership, which was from the level 2. And the purpose of her project was to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring and share her some aspect of previous experience as protege. The way she started was really amazing. She started with great enthusiasm and energy. We can see her excitement while she started to speak her speech. But what I really felt was like she was speaking really fast. And when a speaker speaks very fast, it becomes hard for audience to catch with the speaker. So one thing that I would like to suggest her is to speak slow so that audience can easily go with her flow. And the next thing that we can easily find her comfortability while she was speaking. As her mentor told her, she had really internalized her speech. The speech was really clear. And she had amazing gestures while she was speaking. But as I was giving more care towards her gesture, I felt that she had more gesture than needed. And sometimes when we give more gesture while speaking, it creates distraction to the audience, especially when we're doing virtually. So I would like to suggest her to have like a good number of gestures, but not more than essential. And the next thing that she had was engaging story. We all could relate to the story that she told about being mentee and having relationship with mentor, which was really amazing. But I really feel that if she had mentioned who her mentor is, then that would be more great. If she had taken her name, though we do have same mentor, I know who she was referring to, but like other audience were not aware of her. So if she had mentioned her name, then I think it would be more great. So basically, her speech was really amazing. And I do feel that she fulfilled the purpose of her speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajan, for your evaluation and for sharing with us who your mentor is as well. I will have a word with her. Thank you to all the evaluators for your very constructive feedback to all the speakers. May I please invite the timer to give her timer's report
The timers report. The Toastmaster Asmina, 3 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Kanan, 2 minutes 28 seconds. Toastmaster Rajan, 2 minutes and 29 seconds.
Thank you, timer, for your report. Congratulations to all the evaluators. You qualify for the voting. Mr. Club President, may we have the poll, please?
Oh, what about the off counter?
Not yet, because the
Oh,
out counter
alright.
comes after the poll. Yeah, that's
Right,
okay.
thank you.
Yeah, that's all. We finish one segment and then we go on to the next.
Sorry, I thought by poll you meant you'd be announcing the winners already.
Nah, that's okay. We've got about 10 seconds left. Five, four, three, two, one. We have one more person who hasn't voted. Thank you everyone for your vote. And now we go to the technical reports. Our very eager R counter can't wait to tell us how she has been actively listening throughout the meeting and to tell us what our crutch words are. Please welcome R counter Gracie Waltono.
Thank you so much, Lee. Oh my gosh, I really didn't mean to come off as over enthusiastic. However, yes, I have a list of all the people who have mentioned and used crutch words for today. So Toastmaster Willie has used 2 us and 9 counts of repetition, which is something that is also considered a crutch word, specifically with the words you, they, because, we, and, what kind. For that, how to, will be, and with all the. Toastmaster Noel has mentioned 6 us. Toastmaster Kanan Sankara has mentioned 4 counts of repetition, specifically I, he, and, any, anything, and 2 us and 1 Toastmaster Asmina has mentioned 7 us and 3 does, which I think qualifies as a filler word in context. Toastmaster, oh, that's another for me. Toastmaster Patricia has mentioned 4 ums and 3 buts, and I myself have used 2 counts of repetition and 2 ums. None of the prepared speakers have mentioned any filler words because they prepared it very, very well. It's just an additional comment from me. I think everyone has done exceptionally well today. Back to you, Toastmaster meeting.
Thank you, R counter Gracie, for your very detailed report. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the time of the evening where you get to win another Kit Kat. No. I'll give you more than a Kit Kat tonight. We have our results for the best table topic speaker and the best evaluator. Drum roll, please. Let me just get my... Ladies and gentlemen, the best table topic speaker tonight, Gracie Waltono. Woohoo! Well done, Gracie, for your table topics to share with us power or money, I think, or power, happiness. Very well done, Gracie. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Lee.
As we did not have the voting for the best speaker, I will just display the ribbon, and everyone, congratulations to all the speakers. And now the best evaluator. Based on the voting tonight, we have a tie. Everyone was very constructive in their feedback. We do have a tie for best evaluator. Congratulations, DTM Kanan Sankara and Rajan Shrestha. Woohoo! Well done to all the winners. Next week, we have a very special workshop on vocal variety. After the workshop, we will have a creative table topic session where it's not the normal table topic session where you get to ask a topic or a question and you have to give your answers. The table topic session will be conducted in two parts. The first part is role playing, where you get to exercise your vocal variety in portraying different characters in different scenarios. The second part is, according to Hot Mama, singing is one of the best way to practice your vocal variety. And therefore, for the second part, we will have a cappella table topics where you get to choose a song of your choice. You will sing without music for about 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity to practice your vocal variety and to demonstrate to us. You don't have to be a good singer. You just need to have vocal variety to sing. Thank you, everyone. I would like to now hand over to the club president, Distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low, to give his closing address. Over to you, club president.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Tonight, the word of the day, SPJC, has shown us that we are adaptable to changes. Actually, this word should not be used in our meeting as well as the team. But this word was chosen a year ago was because it have a meaning as we cannot always stick to old traditional way of doing it. We need to move with times. So fellow Toastmaster, we need to take possibility and move forward with the times instead of with stay back in the time, because one day we are too far away. So because I have a long workshop just now, I was a bit tired, so sorry about it, but never mind. Next week, since I'm not doing any workshop, I will come back with a more viral closing message. Thank you and have a nice weekend. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone, for a